Happy New Year, 2022. Wow, the last year passed by so quickly. It's remarkable. 2021 was like a flash. I mean, so much happened, but it was still such a quick year. Like, I don't think it's just me, because my 12-year-old son, my youngest, Eden, he was talking about just how quickly the months have been passing by, and for me as an adult, like, it feels like it's going really fast, but I realize it's not just me. So regardless of what happened in your year, I hope it was a good one. I hope it was one to remember, not just like, oh my gosh, that was a year to remember, like 2020, but that you have some precious memories that you'll be able to take with you as well. And I hope you'll be able to build even better ones in the upcoming year, 2022. I have something else to read. So this is another author, Walter Wangerin Jr. He actually he passed away in 2021 in August. He had struggled with lung cancer for a number of years, I believe. He was introduced to me by another of my favorite authors, Andrew Peterson, who I have yet to do a video on because I probably can't do the subject justice, but you could look him up, you'll find him. He's got terrific books, both fiction for all ages and nonfiction as well, and songs, if you have not ever read or listened to Andrew Peterson, you really should. But anyway, so while he was, I can't remember what it was, whether it was something he read or a video of his, but he mentioned this author, and so I had to find him. The very first thing I read from him was not his nonfiction works, but one of his fiction works, Potter. That's an amazing book. I'm not going to read from that though. It's New Year, so I'm going to read from his book Ragman and Other Cries of Faith, and this is a meditation on a New Year's Day. Mighty God, Creator unbegun, unending, your works, when I think that they are yours, dazzle me to silence and to awe, in awful prayer. For I am thrice removed from the knowledge of them, and each remove diminishes me until I am near nothing by your greatness, yet you love me. For I may know some little something of the sun, may take its temperature, may track its travels relative to other stars, may date its age, predict its death, observe the windy rage of its digestion in the time between. But what do such solar figures do to the size of me? And what are my own travels in my age and death beside this brutal fire in the universe? Tiny, tiny, insignificant. My God, the little that I know of your Son, and this but one among a sea of suns belittles me. How is it that you love me? Yet this is but the first of the levels of knowledge of your creation. Of the second level I am ignorant and left to guess, conjecture only. For who can say, of those who did not see it, how first you bulged that sun into its place, and hammered its brazen face, and shocked it at the heart and set it afire? Who knows the word wherewith you commanded the sun to be? Who knows the beginning of the things which we can know? Theory. We chirp theories like chickadees because ignorance is a terrifying thing and we need the noise. But when I can stand with courage and know I do not know, when I admit that I stand with my back to a void, that I am indeed blind to the beginning of things, then I am silenced. Then I am chilled by my own triviality, some dust at the edge of a desert. Nevertheless, you kneel down and find me and tell me that you love me. Yet there is a final level of knowledge from which I am shut altogether. Of this I cannot even guess. I gape alone and wonder. For you, who made the sun, the metagalaxies and the hairs on the head of my daughter, you first of all created space in which these things could be. Mighty God, space, where there had been no space. Dimension where none had been before. Not just that things do I now consider, but the room that contains them, nor just this room or that, but room itself. My Lord, I haven't the language anymore, not the least imagination of the act you acted before the beginning of things. For someone might imagine a space in which nothing is, but no one can imagine a nothing in which not even space is. Thou deity, holy, mighty and immortal, from whom the cosmos, on whom the founding of all things, by whom existence. My Father, how can you love me so? For even as you created space in which things are, so also you created time in which events occur. These two creations, space and time, are each as elemental as the other. And even as I am dust in space, so am I but an instant in time, always an instant, never more than this particular instant, the end of the year that ended yesterday, the beginning of the year that begins today, the first day of that year, the morning of that day, the minute, the second that ticks for me now. How insignificant, small and pipping this moment. How like a rat's tooth, unworthy of any memory, yet it is me. And behold, you enter from the other side of time. You stride from timelessness to this sole moment, to the ragged stretch of my existence, to me, to love me. How can such a kindness be? For you who made time are not bound by time, except you choose to be. You embrace me, my dribble of moments. Right now you are standing at my birth, receiving me, an infant, into this created world. Yet right now you are present for this prayer of mine prayed between the years. But right now you are establishing the answers of our prayers and our futures, and you are present. And right now, dear God, you are waiting at my death. Your hands extended, ready to receive me to your kingdom. Not only the same God as hears me now, but in the same eternal moment as now I pray, Lord, who before Abraham was, is. Eternal God, such thoughts are too wonderful for me. They are high, I cannot attain unto them. For you are wonderful beyond describing it, and yet you love me, and still you choose to notice me. And nonetheless, you bend your boundless being, your infinity, into space and time, into things and into history to find me, to preserve my life. Abba, Father, how is it that you care for me? I whisper, amazed that you should care to hear it. I whisper, astonished that it could make a difference to the deity. I whisper, here, now, the truth of my heart and the wholeness of my being. I whisper, God, I love you too. I love how writers throughout time can express things that we have a hard time expressing. Sometimes the thoughts that we don't even realize that we have, and so that was a beautiful prayer. I felt a terrific one for the new year, and from an author who I deeply respect, and may his family be blessed in this upcoming year that they face without him. And I'm thankful for the writers, the authors who've left their works behind, their heart in the papers that we hold in our hands, that we can remember and know who they were, and just be blessed by the beauty and the peace of these places. Okay, so getting a little too reflective here. Happy New Year, and I wish you all the best in 2022.